Hi, my name is Douglas Martinez, and the topic of this presentation is branding fundamentals. For us to understand the fundamentals of branding, first we need to know what products and brands are. Essentially, a product is anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy a want or need, including physical goods, services, experiences, events, persons, places, properties, organizations, information, and ideas. This means that a product can be anything from a hotel stay, a flight, a language course, to clothes, food, or a toothbrush. To illustrate the definition of a product and the role it occupies in defining a brand, we can use the example of water. Water is a free resource that every human being needs to live and survive. Yet it became a product the day humans and companies started to commercialize it. For example, by selling mineral water in glass and plastic bottles. But water always looks the same, doesn't it? It is liquid and transparent. So, how can different companies sell the same product but still convince people to purchase their bottled water instead of the one from the competition? The answer is by creating a brand. A brand is a name, the part of the brand identity or vision which can be spoken. It can be a brand mark symbol, a term, or logo. This also includes a copyright, trademark, patent, or any other feature that identifies a seller's good or service distinctly from those of other sellers. David Ocker, a branding guru, vice chairman of the consulting firm Profit, and author of our textbook, tells us that a brand is far more than a name or a logo. It is an organization's promise to a customer to deliver what the brand stands for, not only in terms of functional benefits, but also emotional, self-expressive, and social benefits. But a brand is more than delivering on a promise. It is also a journey, an evolving relationship based on the perceptions and experiences that a customer has every time he or she connects to the brand. In other words, branding is the process of giving a meaning to specific products by creating and shaping a brand in consumers' minds. It is a strategy designed by companies to help people to quickly identify their products and organization and give them a reason to choose their products over the competitions by clarifying what their particular brand is and is not. The objective is to attract and retain loyal customers by delivering a product that is always aligned with what the brand promises. We must recognize that brands are assets with strategic value. The breakthrough idea that changed marketing over 2 decades ago is that brands are strategic assets. Brands are platforms for future success and create ongoing value for the organization. Thus, brand building is strategic and very different than tactical efforts to stimulate sales. A brand provides consumers with a decision-making shortcut when feeling indecisive about the same product from different companies. Besides helping consumers to distinguish similar products, successful branding strategies are also adding to a company's reputation. This asset can affect a range of people, from consumers to employees, investors, shareholders, providers, and distributors. As an example, if you don't like or don't feel connected to a brand, you would probably not want to work for it. However, if you feel like the brand understands you and offers products that inspire you, you would probably desire to work for it and be part of its world. Companies tend to use different tools to create and shape a brand. For example, branding can be achieved through advertising and communications, product and packaging design, in-store experience, pricing, sponsoring and partnerships, and the visual identity of the brand. In our example of branding water, packaging design and advertising are perhaps the most powerful tools used by marketers. There are many reasons why understanding and managing the brand portfolio can be a key to both the development of a winning business strategy and its successful implementation. A portfolio in which each brand executes a clear role can create competitively decisive synergies. A key element of brand portfolio management is to make sure that each brand has a well-defined scope and a role to play in each context in which it is expected to contribute. Another is to make sure that the brands, acting within their roles, actively reinforce and support each other to provide a consistent synergistic team. Let's look at a few of the fundamental roles that are important to branding. Defeating a competitor on brand relevance is a difficult undertaking. Most brand practitioners concentrate, instead, on building brand preference, establishing their brand as the preferred choice in its category or subcategory, and maintaining that position by continually offering incremental innovations. The risk with the brand preference strategy is that competitors could duplicate most of your functional benefits and innovations. In today's quickly changing market, doing something slightly better than your competitors might not be enough. David Ocker explains.
In brand preference competition, the kinds of innovation we do is incremental. Trying to make the offering faster, better, cheaper. And the kind of marketing we're engaged in is to try to elevate the brand so it is preferred for other brands. We want to increase its visibility, we want to increase the loyalty of its users, and that's what marketing is aimed at. Brand relevance competition is very different. In brand relevance competition, we want to create an offering that's so innovative that it drives the development of a new category or subcategory for which competitors are not relevant anymore. Innovation is very different. It's about substantial innovation or transformational innovation so that really change what people buy. And marketing is very different as well. Instead of building up the brand, we want to build up the new category or subcategory, because winning is not when the brand is preferred. Winning is when the new category or subcategory is preferred. And if our brand becomes the exemplar of that category or subcategory, that brand is going to in the end benefit. But the focus is on creating and managing a category or subcategory. Very different marketing challenge. There's all kinds of examples of this, in retailing we have Whole Foods with organic and natural and the passion for food. In packaged goods we have Wheaties Fuel that was designed for and by athletes, a very male cereal. In software we have Salesforce.com. And in automobiles we have the Chrysler minivan that was developed in 1982 and went for 16 years with no viable competitor. It's sold to date 12.5 million vehicles. It created a whole new subcategory, and it became the exemplar and the dominant brand in that subcategory. The sort of the common thread of all these examples, and many more that are discussed in the book, is that they have a must-have feature that competitors cannot deliver, and so they're excluded. And so one of the challenges is to manage the category or subcategory so this must-have feature is visible and it persists over time. Brand relevance is also a threat as well as an opportunity. If suppose you make minivans, everybody loves your minivan. They couldn't get along without it. They tell you their friends and so on. But suppose they're now going to buy a hybrid instead. Their love for your minivan doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much they love it, because they're no longer going to buy what you're making. So a brand, even a leading brand that's operating in an established category or subcategory, has to make sure that they maintain visibility, they maintain credibility, and they continue to make what they're buying. Otherwise, they run the danger of becoming irrelevant. The sort of the common thread of all these examples, and many more that are discussed in the book, is that they have a must-have feature that competitors cannot deliver, and so they're excluded. And so one of the challenges is to manage the category or subcategory so this must-have feature is visible and it persists over time. Brand relevance is also a threat as well as an opportunity. If suppose you make minivans, everybody loves your minivan. They couldn't get along without it. They tell you their friends and so on. But suppose they're now going to buy a hybrid instead. Their love for your minivan doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much they love it, because they're no longer going to buy what you're making. So a brand, even a leading brand that's operating in an established category or subcategory, has to make sure that they maintain visibility, they maintain credibility, and they continue to make what they're buying. Otherwise, they run the danger of becoming irrelevant.
To understand brand relevance, look, for example, at the behavior of sport utility vehicle buyers. They choose that category and then consider brands within it. A brand is relevant when buyers include it in their consideration subset. If they decide to choose among Lexus, BMW, or Acura, but discard Volkswagen as a contender, it lacks relevance in the SUV subcategory. Therefore, here are 6 key ideas to remember. A brand is relevant when buyers consider it for purchase after selecting a category. Leading brands lose relevance when a new product redefines a category. Innovative offerings form new categories and put competitors at a disadvantage. Create new concepts by solving unmet needs and promoting organizational innovation. Define and position your brand and aggressively maintain category dominance. And finally, to stay on top, block the competition from being effective in your category. Your business's brand name is its most important and tangible asset. It is the basis of competitive advantage and of future earnings. Yet, it is seldom managed in a coordinated, coherent manner. Many managers don't think about building long-term brand equity. Brand equity links to 5 assets: brand loyalty, name awareness, perceived quality, brand associations, and proprietary pluses such as patents, trademarks, and relationships. Brand equity provides value by attracting new customers and retaining old ones, increasing loyalty, and providing a platform for growth via brand extensions. Gaining new customers is expensive, but keeping existing ones is comparatively inexpensive. A sound customer base helps your brand because existing customers can help generate new customers. Most people buy familiar brands because they are comfortable with what they know. They reason that if it is familiar, it is reliable and here to stay. Customers believe in the quality of the products they buy. Perceived quality influences buying and brand loyalty, especially when a buyer is not motivated or can't comparison shop. Also, positive brand associations can create brand extensions. Brand loyalty is the foundation of a brand's equity. Customers don't become loyal when they buy products according to features, price, and convenience. Those are objective factors. When they buy a brand despite better prices and greater convenience, then they are loyal. And that's subjective. Brand loyalty measures a customer's likelihood to switch brands. Brand loyalty aligns with experience. A person may become loyal to a brand because of perceived quality or strong positive associations, but it depends on the product. Some customers are loyal to brands with low perceived quality, such as fast food restaurants, or dislike brands with high perceived quality, like Japanese cars. To be honest, a committed buyer is a Harley Davidson biker with a Harley tattoo. Brand loyalty is at the heart of any brand's value because once obtained, loyalty is persistent. Customer inertia will benefit the brand that has earned loyalty. And breaking a loyalty leak is difficult and expensive for a competitor. As such, one brand building goal is to strengthen the size and intensity of each loyalty segment by making the basis of the customer relationship consistent over time and, whenever possible, rich, deep, and meaningful. Customers become aware of a certain brand when the brand serves as an anchor to other associations they are familiar with or they like the brand, and the brand becomes a signal of substance and commitment. Then they will consider buying the brand. Because it is subjective, perceived quality differs from other forms of quality. Perceived quality is hard to identify. People often confuse it with other aspects of brand equity. Generally, it attaches to reliability and performance or other aspects of the brand. Perceived quality also develops your company's position and price premiums. For example, is your product classified as super premium, premium, value, or economy? Is your brand the best in its class or is it competitive? High actual quality must translate into perceived quality. Look for an indicator of high quality. Price provides a cue, especially with low-priced consumer products. For example, price tends to signal quality in wine, perfume, and durable goods. Businesses can explain why quality is superior, offer guarantees, or use external measures. For example, a meaningful guarantee can provide convincing support for a quality claim. For a guarantee to be effective, it should be unconditional, easy to understand, easy to invoke, and meaningful. A brand association provides a strong link to the brand. Usually, most brands need more than one association to become memorable. Associations help customers to process and retrieve information, differentiate the brand, generate a reason to buy, create positive attitudes or feelings, and provide a basis for extensions. Associations can include a product's attributes, customers' benefits, relative price, customers, celebrities or spokespersons, lifestyle or personality, product class, competitors, and geographic area. Young and Rubicam is a large marketing and communications company specializing in advertising and brand identity consulting. They developed the Brand Asset Valuator. A brand asset valuator is a metric that is used to analyze how a brand is perceived by its consumer in terms of different attributes. This realistic approach is used to provide information about brands and how a firm can improve its marketing decision process. The world's largest study on brands and their relationship to its consumers has been carried out with the help of the Brand Asset Valuator. The Brand Asset Valuator database includes more than 38,000 brands across 40 countries and measured on over 75 metrics. One of the most important key factors to consider in analyzing any brand value is consumer awareness. When you examine a product, you go through all aspects of how it's made in the factory, whereas a brand is how it's bought by the customer. A product is something which can be easily copied by its competitor, while a brand holds a unique position in the hearts and minds of its consumers. A product can easily get faded, however. A brand is everlasting. The Brand Asset Valuator metric measures the brand value by following 4 dimensions: differentiation, relevance, esteem, and knowledge. Differentiation is the ability for a brand to stand apart from its competitors. A brand should be as unique as possible. Brand health is built and maintained by offering a set of differentiating promises to consumers and delivering these promises to leverage value. Relevance is the actual and perceived importance of the brand to a large consumer market segment. This measures the personal appropriateness of brand to consumers and is strongly tied to household penetration. Esteem is the perceived quality and consumer perceptions about the growing or declining popularity of a brand. Does the brand keep its promises? And knowledge is the extent of the consumer's awareness of the brand and their understanding of its identity. The awareness levels about the brand and what it stands for show the intimacy that consumers share with the brand. True knowledge of the brand comes through brand building.
These companies were not too big to fail. This company's Kodak moment is long over. In its heyday, Kodak dominated the US film and camera markets. They practically invented the digital camera too, but waited too long to pursue the technology because they worried it would kill film sales. In 2012, they filed for bankruptcy, sold off many divisions, and stopped making digital cameras altogether. Polaroid almost met the same fate, but nostalgic hipsters kept it alive. Well, this one's obvious. Aid's diet candy was a popular appetite suppressant in the 1970s. That quickly dropped off once the AIDS virus started to spread. It really could not have been more unfortunate that a candy that was supposed to help people lose weight had a name similar to a disease that, among other things, caused intense weight loss.
Why not try AIDS?
Ford built so much hype leading to their 1957 release of the Edsel, it worked against them. They could not deliver the goods. Actually, tons of things made the Edsel an unmitigated failure. The name sucked, the car was butt ugly, and Edsel was competing with another division of Ford, Mercury. Quality issues were the final nail in the coffin, and Ford was out $400 million by the end. New Coke.
Introducing the new taste of Coca-Cola, the best Coca-Cola ever. That's all I'm going to say. In fact, that's all I have to say. No more words.
Taking the top spot on our list is a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was 1985. Coca-Cola was winning the Cola Wars, but for whatever reason, they decided to pour time and money into developing a better tasting beverage. New Coke won blind taste tests against Pepsi and even Classic Coke, but when it was launched on April 23rd, the public responded with a resounding no. It was yanked from stores by July. While most considered New Coke a huge disaster, it did manage to get people caring about Coca-Cola Classic again, so that's something.
Really, I'm sorry.
There have been lots more marketing disasters.
Branding is a ubiquitous but critical marketing function that can produce spectacular successes and catastrophic blunders. Highly visible branding failures, such as the ill-fated New Coke, was a first-order marketing blunder. Today, when products fail, consumers often blame the brand, that is, the entire corporation, as opposed to the product itself. This reflects a change in consumer behavior. Since brands pre-sell products by invoking certain emotions in consumers' hearts, negative or positive product experiences can generate disproportionate emotional responses. This helps explain why branding can be such a powerful tool. Brands fail for many reasons, including brand amnesia. Brands forget their original identity. Brand ego. Successful products reside within a brand. When consumers do not immediately recognize a new product as part of that family, it does not benefit from brand association. Brand fatigue. Remember, brands, like people, need to be renewed. Product improvements can extend brand life. So, in conclusion, a strong brand is invaluable as the battle for customers intensifies day by day. It's important to spend time investing in researching, defining, and building the brand. After all, the brand is the source of a promise to consumers. The brand is a foundational piece in marketing communication and one that successful businesses do not want to be without. Brand is strategic and marketing is tactical and is what is used to get the brand in front of consumers. That's why it carries a great deal of importance within a business or organization. Brand serves as a guide to understanding the purpose of business objectives. It enables businesses to align a marketing plan with those objectives and fulfill the overarching strategy. Hopefully, this presentation will help serve as a guide to understanding at least a little of the importance of that complex subject known as branding. I'm Doug Martinez, and thank you for watching.